Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and we're going to talk about feeling lovable. It's really hot today, so I'm not wearing much, but I think you all like the view anyways. Like, how's it looking over there? This is a follow-up, which was a question from Lauren, who's one of my patrons. Thank you so much, Lauren, for supporting me. You are one of my greatest supporters, and I really, really appreciate you. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for reaching out, and thank you for just being a part of my Discord group, which is awesome. How active you are there. And if anyone else wants to join, hit the link down below. There's a Discord group. And if you'd like to support me, there's a Patreon link there too. And I respond to all messages through my Patreon. We're going to talk about, am I lovable? Am I lovable? I made a video on this a while ago, and it was because I had just gotten broken up from a guy that I was really into and thought we were on a really good track together. But then he basically ghosted me, and then it brought up a lot of pain because it brought up the continual experience that I'm having as a trans woman, which is that I feel like no one wants to actually love me, and everyone just kind of wants to use me to fulfill some kind of desire for just like having sex or just having, just pretty much just having sex. And I have felt it's because I'm a trans woman. I'm just not a valid, lovable object because I am not a cis woman and I can't have kids. And I know a lot of people want to have kids. So it's like I can't really be truly lovable, or I can't truly be a soulmate because of this mere fact. And that's just my insecurity and also kind of reality. Take your pick. It's probably a mix or match. But I wanted to talk about how my thoughts have evolved with this topic of feeling lovable, because it's a super deep and important topic, I think, for every trans person. As you go through this experience in life, finding your friends, finding your family, your support, and your lovers, and your relationships, and your non-relationships, and your non-lovers, so to speak, the people you hook up with and they don't really love you, it's just for hookups. I think like having sex is fine, by the way. If you just want to hook up with people, that's cool. I'm just going to just throw that out there. It's all good. But on the topic of feeling lovable, this is like, how does that topic resonate with you? The topic of, are you lovable? Where does that sit? Do you contemplate that at all? Or is this like a deeper feeling that you're not aware of, but you're seeking out? I think more people are seeking out this deeper feeling within them, but they're not conscious of it. You know what I mean? They're going around their life trying to make themselves more lovable, trying to do things and perform in ways that say, oh, like if I make more money, or if I look more attractive, or if I say a certain thing, people will like me more. Where's that going? Where is people will like me more? People will accept me more. People will make my life easier. And perhaps I'll be more lovable. And that's the thing. I think it's a human experience problem. And for the cis people and my cis patrons, thank you, cis patrons. This is like for you guys too, and girls. This topic of finding love or being lovable. There's many things I want to say, and I can only say so much in such a condensed amount of time to really give to you. So I'm going to touch on some topics, and I'll dive into one of them that I feel like is really important. But if you hear a topic that you think that I should blow up and kind of make into a bigger thing, let me know, okay? We're going to cover a lot of important things. Here we go. So there's many different approaches. The one that I have gone through most recently is just saying, all right, dating is just this grab bag of hopes and dreams. Sometimes you get something you like, sometimes you don't. More often you're going to find something that you don't, because it is a numbers game, and I'm picky and I'm intelligent, which makes it harder for me to find people that are as intelligent, if not more. And I'm also successful in how I see myself. I probably make more work output, and I do more I probably make more money than like some men too that I'm dating. So it's like, I'm probably more financially successful because of my full-time job. And I'm also probably more personally successful because I've done all of the internal work to find out who I am. So finding a partner when you're like this, and like I consider myself to be in the attractive range. I don't really know where I sit. Sometimes I think I'm an 8, sometimes I think I'm a 9, but sometimes I honestly think that maybe I'm actually just a 7. And of course that's like a very reductionist view, so don't like quote me on that. That's just one way of seeing things, like just a Tinder swipe. But that's where I exist. That's where I find my dates. Like I consider myself attractive enough to then be able to be picky, which is a blessing. But there's still no good people out there. There's still no good men for me. I wish I could date women because there's so many great women out there. And I get tied up in that process of looking at the dating app and swiping on people, getting some leads, talking to them, getting a feeling like we might be vibing and that we're going to meet up, and getting excited about that person because they seem like they might be a good fit. And then either they just ghost you, or you meet up and you find out that they're kind of lame. Or better case, you have a follow-up date, but you then realize they're not actually as great as you were hoping them to be, and then they just kind of let you down, or they're too busy, or they have some other thing that they need to do. So like I perpetually find myself in a very single position. And that kind of relentless search, and the idea that there's a world of available people for me that are out there in these apps makes me feel like I'm somehow broken, because if there's so much opportunity that's easy to be captured, that's out there, then I should be getting some of that. So that's like one thought pattern that I've recognized within me that is creating this sense of feeling unlovable, because there's this perception that other people are lovable and that they're finding what they're looking for. Now, when I talk to girls, cis girls, they say the same thing. Like, Berlin dating is just so hard. Like, it's just hookup culture. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But that doesn't resolve this deeper sense of, am I lovable, which I'm going to go into right now. So I've personally taken a step back from dating. I am seeing people, but only the people that have somehow gotten into my texts, and not the people on the dating apps. I just can't. But more importantly, I'm focusing on the thing that matters most to me, because we talk about this, and I think this is common knowledge that everyone says, which is focus on yourself, do the things that you need to do that make you happy, grow as a person, and the right person will come along when it's right. Have you heard that? I definitely stuck to that as a man. I've definitely not stuck to that as a woman. And I have been single for a very long time, and I've gone on over 150 first dates. But it was worth it to me because I also learned a lot about myself. Anyways, I digress. That's another topic. Focusing on myself and focusing on what's more important. I've got to make these videos. I got to get this website up. I got to get this book done. By the way, I'm just finishing this book. By the time you're seeing this video, it might even be done. You can go check out my website. It's on my website, or if it's not on my website yet, you can sign up to get it. It's all about how to transition, and it's all about the inner work, the spiritual and the metaphysical and the personal growth and development. So if that's for you, like, sign up, that link below. But, oh God, there's so many ways I could go about this. The lovable part, taking a step back, doing some self-care, focusing on what I need. Another thing is just being like less hard on myself, seeing myself less as an occupier of feeling like there's an emptiness that needs to be filled, feeling less of a void, and saying, you know what, I can fill my own cup. I have a lot of things to do, so I need to focus on myself and just make my cup more full. And I'm not going to give my emotional energy, yeah, this is the part, I'm not going to give my emotional energy to these leads, to these false promises, to these opportunities that look really good. I'm done giving myself emotionally. And I'm done with like following up on flaky people. I'm done just like saying, hey, how you doing? And seeing if they are going to respond and hope they respond, and then they don't respond, and then I feel upset. Like, do you know what I mean? That texting game. Like, I hate that texting game of where you reach out and then they don't respond, and then you're like, oh, are they ghosting me, or are they just too busy? I don't know if I should send a message because I don't want to appear too needy. But then if I don't send a message and it's too late, then maybe they'll move on and they'll forget about me. And so I kind of want to still be remembered. Like, these are the kind of things that go through my head. Like, what goes through yours? I'm just like, fuck it. If you don't text me, I'm just going to forget about you, because I'm a busy bitch and I got a lot of shit to do, and I'm just going to do that because that's something I have control over, and that's something that's going to make me happier long term. I would much rather quit working my day job and just do this for you guys and just make more videos, make more content, make more programs, do things that help people and enable you to have your best possible life. That's my personal goal. And so when I think, would I have a soulmate right now, or would I rather have my soul business right now? I think I would take my soul business, because as much as soulmate's going to be great and fulfill me and make me really happy, they are not my solution to the world's problems. I still need to make money. I still need to figure out how I can exist in a capitalist society. So I would rather have my soul business first, if anything, because then I'm doing what I love, I'm helping you, I'm making money doing it, which means I can just do that and focus on that, and that's my passion and I care about it, etc., etc. And then maybe my soulmate's gonna show up, you know? Oh God, time is the other thing, right? Like, time as a trans person, you only have so much time till you're gonna get there. Till you're gonna die. You know what I mean? And so there is this kind of sense of rushing, but I feel like that rushing creates scarcity. It creates this scarcity mindset where you then make decisions based on scarcity, and no one finds thinking scarce to be an attractive quality. I think maybe if you are a person that likes to save money and likes other people to be very small, then maybe you like people like that who have a scarcity mentality, because you can manipulate them, right? Scarcity mentality people are easy to manipulate because they're so afraid of losing something. If you're afraid of losing your safety, then you're going to give up some of your freedom to create that safety. That's the classic 9/11, like, terrorism acts and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, things can be said about what's going on with COVID here too. And that's oh shit, I just scratched my tattoo. Guys, check it out. I got a tattoo. Can you see it? Is it there? Can you see it? I got this to commemorate the completion of my book. I shouldn't have scratched that, my bad. Okay, this is the last one, and if you stuck around for this, this is the bonus, because this is the biggest thing, and I don't think anyone else could have understood this in the earlier section of the video. Those people have already self-selected and left the video, which is fine. I hope that they found value in it. But if you're at this point, you're able to think about this deeply and perhaps even implement some kind of practice to do this. So here you go. This is the super, super important thing, and I'm probably going to make a whole program on this because it completely changed my life in loving myself. It's really simple, but it's also really, I don't want to say hard, but you have to know how to come at it, because coming at self-love is a confusing, or it's a vague, hazy, like, how do you get to self-love? If I ask you, how do you self-love? How do you get to self-love? You might respond, I'm imagining, maybe like, oh, like I might do self-care, or I might just hug myself, and I might smile and feel really good. These are all like excellent things to do, by the way, and I'm not making fun of them. But what I am saying is you can love yourself more. There is something deeper that you can access, a line, so to speak. You can find a line to yourself where you will experience more love than you can possibly ever get from anyone. And it's stunning when you get there. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because I think it might interest you. To see yourself, not as one self, not one person, but multiple people, multiple personalities, multiple thought patterns of who you are. That's the first part of figuring out self-love. Identifying the distinct parts of you. So maybe there's like this child you that may be impatient at times, but also creative or explorative. Do you know that part, the part they call your inner child? There's that part. There's also probably a cynical part of you, the part that helps you discern what's bullshit and what's not. There's also like kind of like a dreamer part of you, right? That talks about, oh, like, wouldn't it be great if I did this, or I wish I could do that. And then there's kind of like the optimistic side, and then there's also like the opposite of that, the cynical, or I don't know, the one that kind of like has a negative vibe to it. Now, what I would do is I would kind of write down the different kinds of vibes of the different personalities personalities, voices that you experience within your being. Write these all down, label them. So I call the one that says, oh, you're never going to be able to do this, I call that my grumpy grumpster. And that kind of dispels some of the seriousness to what that grumpy grumpster has to say. But it also gives me the ability to identify that voice and take a step back from that. And this is the second part, is embrace it. Embracing the grumpy part. Giving that part of myself the biggest hug and the most love that I possibly can. And this is the secret here, is the third piece. Once you are able to give your embrace to the different parts that you may ignore or not even know, you've now found the pathway inside your brain and inside your heart to connect with it. And if you can connect with it, it means you can now communicate with it directly. And the best way to communicate to it is not through like words and cognition, but through feelings and love. And when you send it love, I don't know if this is making sense, so let me know if you have questions. When you send it love, you have to let go of how you think love works. What I mean by that is we have grown up to experience love through other people. Other people give us love, and we say, that's love. So that's how love exists. Someone gives me love. Right? Do you know what I mean? So in order to give yourself love, you have to give up that belief. Do you believe that? You might say, no, I can love myself. But do you really, deep down, believe that you can give yourself love? Do you believe that you can be the most valid person to love you? Can you do that? That, when you can cross that bridge of your own belief system, you can now access as much love and abundance as you want to give to yourself. And boy and girl, does it feel so great. Oh my God, so great. We've covered a lot in this video, so I'm probably going to have to back away and just say, hey, I hope you can love yourself. I love you. I'm sending you some love right now. And I'm probably going to cover this topic in a million other ways because there's just so many ways about it. Let me know how that was for you. Please join the Discord group. I'd love to see you there. Hit me up on Patreon. Please support me so I can do this more often and help other trans people. And maybe I'll see you in another episode. I'm Ashley Adamson. See ya. Bye.